We are so grateful to be here today to celebrate the life and legacy of Helen Rose Ream. She was an auxiliary volunteer for Huntsville Hospital, and we have some significant announcements to make about her gift to the hospital and her legacy. To get us started, I'm going to introduce our hospital system CEO, David Spillers, to talk to you a little bit about the needs of our hospital system and how her gift has made a significant difference this year. David?
Thank you. We are very grateful for the gift. I've said before, our hospital is very dependent upon our foundation to do the things that we do for the community. Our money comes from the money we make providing services, which is generally very small because we take care of many people who have no ability to pay. We don't get tax support, and we provide a lot of services that, while they benefit the community, are not very profitable to provide to the community. So we make very little money on operations. We do have some money in the bank. We make a little bit of money there. And then the foundation is a significant portion of the proceeds that we raise in order to fund the things that we do in our community. We've got many requests on the table as Huntsville continues to expand. We're continuing to expand our services. We're trying to keep up by building new buildings and making sure we have adequate equipment to take care of the population, making sure we're recruiting professionals to physicians to come to our community and take care of this community. So when we get a substantial donation like this, it just furthers our ability to carry out our mission and take care of this community, which we've been doing for 125 years. So very grateful for the gift, very grateful for the service that was provided to the organization for many years. Thank you very much.
Our volunteers are really missing their work at Huntsville Hospital right now. From our cuddlers that cuddle our tiniest patients in our neonatal intensive care unit, to those that work in our gift shops, to those that work in our breast center, our heart institute, work at our information desk. Our volunteers serve a vital role in supporting the hospitals. Now with COVID-19, right before that, we had 220 auxiliary members that were serving every single day in the hospital, and some of them in numerous roles, many more times than one time a week. Our auxiliary members are also very busy outside of serving the hospital, raising funds for the hospital too. That's been a passion of theirs for many years. Working in our gift shops, raising funds through our gift shops, and also through fundraising sales. They do that to support the foundation and the equipment needs of our hospital. They learn about those needs by presenting the amount of money that we've learned or we've earned each year, and the foundation presents a list of all the needs at the hospital. And it's the goal of the auxiliary to give something to every department over the course of a year. That's why we were really excited when we learned that one of the previous members of the auxiliary board that knew about the hospital needs wanted to make a donation. And it was done so by Helen Ream. Helen was a very kind, sweet, very unassuming person, yet she has given one of the largest donations that our hospital has ever received. I would like to introduce to you Audrey Gustafson, who is a friend of hers and a fellow auxilian, and let her tell you some things about Helen.
Because of her modest personality, I can't tell you a lot of things about Helen specifically, except that she was a great and she was a very willing volunteer. We're here to honor that volunteer. The question is, why is this so special? A volunteer is a person who believes they do not have to be employed to be paid with money. A volunteer receives payment of a different kind, such as a smile, a thank you, a personal recognition that they are actually making a difference. The fact that David Spillers, CEO of a major organization, is here is recognition of the value of our volunteers. Okay, so what would Helen say about today? She'd smile, and look down and say, that wasn't necessary, but it was nice. Thank you.
Hi, I'd first like to thank the Foundation for having me today to participate in this. Just real quick, I'm Dr. Mark Sapp. I'm the Medical Director of Women and Children's Services at Women and Children's Hospital here at Huntsville Hospital. And I happen to be sitting in a meeting, which I do quite often on most days, and a lot of the administrators were talking about this exciting gift they had heard that the Foundation had received, but people didn't really know who this person was. And I just overheard them say, it was from someone named Helen Ream, and I thought, I know Helen Ream. So I grew up in Huntsville, Alabama, and how I know Helen Ream is when I was a young child, so we're talking 40, 50 years ago, she was one of my neighbors. She actually lived sort of 2 houses down the street. And things that I remember about the Reams, and specifically Mrs. Ream, was that she was very nice, very quiet. You didn't see her very often, but she always was very pleasant, always spoke. But the thing that really stuck out to me as a young child was every year at Halloween, she gave some of the best candy. She was the only person in the neighborhood that she gave a box of Russell Stover candy to every child that came to the door. And that was just sort of special. And even though you didn't really see her that often, that generosity and what she did really meant a lot. I think this really goes to show sort of how she lived her life. Gifts to the Foundation are extremely important to pediatric services and women's health at Women and Children's Hospital. And so the fact that she left this gift and knowing how gentle and nice and kind she was her whole life, and that she has left this gift now, really speaks to who she was and what a great impact this will have on our healthcare system. And I think especially with our Women and Children's Services. So I think it's great that she has done this, and that's just a simple memory that I had of her. Thank you.
So in fact, our auxiliary generates millions of dollars for the foundation. Annually, they give about $250,000, and over the years have given about $11 million, which is quite significant to us, and we really depend on this. So she had been, again, a consistent donor of the foundation and had given tremendous amounts of her time, a very loyal volunteer. And when we got in touch with the attorney, here's what she said in her will. I'm going to read it to you. She passed away in 2016 and said, "It's my desire that this gift commemorate my volunteer service to Huntsville Hospital, and that it be used as a naming selection for certain equipment for the hospital. In the event the funds are available that are not sufficient to fund the above equipment suggestions, or if such equipment becomes outdated before my death, or if such items are no longer needed by the hospital at the time of my death, then I authorize the foundation to use the available funds to purchase equipment items most needed by various departments listed or other departments at the discretion of the foundation." She knew this hospital. She had lived with us, worked with us on a day-to-day basis. And so she was very specific that she wanted her bequest to go to surgery, our lab, our neonatal intensive care unit, anesthesia, St. Jude's Clinic, and even some unrestricted. And the reason that it could go to so many different departments was because of its significance. Helen Ream's bequest to us was exceeded $434,000. It is, again, one of the most significant gifts that we have ever received with the hospital. And I can tell you, as a first-year president with the foundation and with our team, we were very excited and so very grateful and felt blessed for her gift. This is a story, I think, that has certainly inspired all of us here at the foundation and the hospital, all of our team members, because this is about leaving a legacy and honoring the work that you have done in a way that will last beyond you. And it sounds like from the stories that we heard, that that's the kind of lady that she was. And we're so very grateful for that. I would just close by saying we do know that any gift is very valuable to us. We take small gifts, large gifts, combine them, and are able to multiply those and do significant things for the hospital. So Lynn Berry-Valley is now with us and our planned giving director, and she will be glad to talk with anyone who's interested in this and maybe talking about putting the foundation in their estate. It does see we can make things happen where for as little as $50 a month, up to $500,000 if that is what your gift is. And it has inspired me to look at even my estate plans in a different way and think about a way that I can do the same. So we invite anyone that's interested in doing that to come alongside us and do that. Again, I want to say special thanks to our auxiliary, to Pat and to Audrey, and for all of the work that you all do. We do miss you being in the hospital in big ways. It doesn't feel the same without you. And we hope that hopefully by this time next year, we'll be able to be back together in our normal as we were before. But thank you again for being here today, and thank you to Helen Rose Ream.